Welcome, everybody. It's Rowdy, and it is time for the Infernal Invasion. Here's some world event teams. The first team, let me give a little caveat before I show any of these teams. If you are a low to mid level player and you do not have Doomed Glaive and you can't get the resources to craft it this week, and you don't have Forest Guardian, I'd be very wary about spending many gems on this. And the reason for that is this is a skull event, basically. Each medal you get 160% extra skull damage. And let's go to the first team. This is assuming you do not have Forest Guardian or Doomed Glaive. I've got Frecky the Wild in here. And the reason I have that, he's the Glory Troop, so easily purchased. You don't have to get him to Mythic. You could probably just get him to Legendary and you'd be okay, at least to start. The reason I'm using him up front, he doesn't have any skull reduction, but he does double skull damage versus Daemons and double skull damage versus Beast, and becomes enraged when an enemy dies. I put Warden's Gauntlets in here only for the fact that these are the weapons you have to choose from. Yeah, that blocks mana colors, blocks mana colors, blocks mana colors. That's an event weapon, that's an event weapon, and that's craftable this week. That's craftable and that's craftable, but you're rarely ever going to use those. This is the only weapon I would craft. So that's why I have Warden's Gauntlets in here. Just, it takes up another color. It does a little bit of scatter damage. Most of your damage you're going to have to rely on Frecky the Wild getting random skull matches. Fenrir will give attack and life to your first troop, who unfortunately is not a beast. I'm using Warden, so your hero would be a beast. However, I think doing the double skull damage with Frecky is preferable, and then Spirit Dancer is changing a mana color to green, maybe like yellow or something you're not using. And that's about the best we can do without having Forest Guardian or Doomed Glaive. Second team I have also has Frecky up front with that, but also Forest Guardian, and then Fenrir down in the bottom. If you don't want to use Fenrir, use whatever you want. You know, you'd be perfectly fine using Moonsinger, who can turn purple into green, and it does start with full mana if you've got it traded up. Spirit Dancer, that would be fine as well. If you want to play around a little bit, you could use Totem and use pretty much all War Gear, because Frecky is a War Gear. So he would at least get Barrier. And now onto the team I'm using right now. I've already done all my fights for the day. And right now I'm using Warden. Later on I'm probably going to switch to Titan, just for the fact that I'm going to want more brown on here. I'm not using Frecky. Right now I'm using Cockatrice. I may switch Cockatrice out for something like Moonsinger a little bit later. Forest Guardian and Kerberos, who does damage and a 40% chance to devour, which is kind of nice. And Forest Guardian does give a 50% start to all beasts, which is pretty nice, and he turns purple to green, which... No, I'm sorry, he turns brown to green, which kind of takes away from the usefulness of Doomed Glaive. And then Cockatrice drains all mana and creates brown gems, which could be useful to cast right before you're going to cast your Doomed Glaive. That's the teams I have right now. I thought about going on a little rant about the devs, but I've decided against that. So anyways, thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate it. If this helped you out, throw me a like, and I'll catch you later. Have a good one, everyone.